Hey guys, what's going on, dudes? It is David here. We are back with another video. Now, in this video, guys, we're going to be discussing the Atlanta Falcons. Now, if you guys don't know, the Atlanta Falcons just happen to be my favorite NFL team, and this past weekend, we lost against the Seattle Seahawks. Now, on my prediction video, some people commented on my video saying that the Falcons were actually going to beat the Seattle Seahawks in Atlanta, and yes, I did make a mistake because I didn't realize Atlanta played Seattle last year in Atlanta. That is my fault for not checking out, and I apologize for that. But I knew we were not going to beat that Seattle team just because of one thing. That Seattle defense was really good. But hey, I gotta give the Falcons props. I was 9 points off the actual score. If I remembered, I predicted it to be 28-24. Or 27-24, something like that, and the score ended up being 35 to 25, or 30. Was it 35? I forget. The score will be right here, to be honest, and I'll probably have my prediction of the score below me right here. But what we're gonna be talking about today is we're gonna be really talking about Dan Quinn, the head coach for the Atlanta Falcons for this coming season. And I just wanted to say, if it comes down to what Dan Quinn has been calling in the Seattle games, if he continues to do this, then Dan Quinn will not be our head coach at the end of the season. I can promise you that. I watched the Falcons highlights because the game was on TV because I think they were showing the Green Bay versus Vikings game, or Green Bay versus Vikings game. And the Falcons game wasn't on TV, so unfortunately I wasn't able to watch it. But watching the highlights, seeing, Matt Ryan had a very good game. Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones had over 100 receiving yards. Todd Gurley had a decent amount of carries and ran for a decent amount of yards. But the one thing that stuck with me while watching this game is fourth down. It's the fourth down. Because we went for 4 times on fourth down and never converted on fourth down. I was looking at this because there was a specific play. It was 4th and 3, and we were within field goal range, and we decided to go for it. I'm just like, if we take the field goal, there's a possibility this game ends up in a different way. But we ended up going for it on fourth down, and we did not get it. And then there was, of course, the fake punt where the guy ran it through to get the first down, but fumbled the ball. And all right, that one I'm not going to blame on Dan Quinn. But the other 4 downs, why would we go for on fourth down? I understand you want to take a risk, but it's the first game of the season. You don't really have to take a risk like this, Dan Quinn. You do not have to take a risk like this, and you should not have to take a risk like this. It's game 1. If this is game 16 or game 17, I completely understand that. I would fully back Dan Quinn. I'd be like, all right, you know what? We didn't get the 4 downs that we tried to get. But the first game of the season against a team like Seattle, who has a very good defensive line and a very good middle linebacker in Bobby Wagner, I said he was going to be an X factor for the game, and it turns out he was. I mean, what's his name actually performing good for the Atlanta Falcons? Todd McKinley. He got a couple sacks in there, and I was just like, okay, Todd McKinley looks like he's going to play for a very good contract this year, and it looks like that's actually going to happen. So, yeah, Dan Quinn. 4 fourth downs, we tried to go for it, and all 4 we did not get it. And now when it came to, I think it was Young-Ho Koo, I think that's the kicker's name. He did try and go for the onside kick, and I actually think we ended up getting it. But no, we ended up getting it, which means that guy is such a good onside kicker. And I mean, coming from last season when we played against the Saints, he went for 2 onside kicks, and we got both onside kick back. I really like the way this guy is kicking the ball, and I would love for him to be the Falcons kicker for a couple more seasons. Of course, he did sign a 1-year extension last season to stay as the Falcons kicker, but I would love to see him if he kicks good and he scores a couple field goals and scores a couple extra points for us. I would love to see him stay at the Falcons for at least another 2 to 3 seasons, because this guy I've seen has a lot of potential to be a good onside kicker and a good kicker just in general, because he has a lot of potential. And I think he's about 25, 26. So yeah, he still has a lot of potential. And like punters, kickers, they could go for a lot of age. I mean, the oldest kicker was the one that played for I think it was Indianapolis, and he's around the 40. I think he's 41, 42. So yeah. But there are a few positives I took out of the Falcons game when it comes to this season. When it comes to this past game, the passing game is going to be really, really good, and Calvin Ridley is going to be an excellent wide receiver if he can manage to stay healthy. Calvin Ridley by the end of the season could probably be a very good number 1 wide receiver, but he's going to be a number 2 wide receiver, because our number 1 wide receiver is Mr. Julio Jones. So I'm sorry, Calvin Ridley, but you're not going to be a number 1 wide receiver until Julio Jones retires. And Julio Jones, I don't even see Julio Jones retiring for another 2 to 3 seasons, possibly even 4 seasons. And I don't really even think he's going to ever leave the Atlanta Falcons, due to him being here since 2011. I don't even think Matt Ryan's going to be, leaving the Atlanta Falcons and going to a different team, because Matt Ryan's probably going to retire as a Falcons legend, because Matt Ryan's 35, 36 years old. I see Matt Ryan playing for another 3 seasons, possibly getting into his 40s and possibly playing there. But I feel like the only way Matt Ryan will probably play until his 40s is if the Falcons end up winning a Super Bowl. And our Super Bowl projection is kind of getting smaller, because Matt Ryan and Julio Jones are both getting older. But that doesn't change that our Super Bowl projection should be getting smaller, and if anything, it should be growing, because our defense is getting better, our offensive line is getting better, and if Julio Jones ends up slowing down, not becoming so good, we have a replacement for Julio Jones in Calvin Ridley, who's from Alabama, who could be the next Julio Jones, who could be one of the next best wide receivers. And of course, we could always go draft one in the wide receiver, like in a year or so or two, because there's gonna be a definite lot of wide receivers, good young wide receivers coming out of college. So we got a place for Julio Jones. The problem I'd probably say would be replacing Matt Ryan, because some quarterbacks you draft don't work out. Some quarterbacks you do draft, they do work out. I mean, when it comes to quarterbacks you draft them, they don't work out. One specific example happens to be Tim Tebow, who went to my favorite college, which is the Florida Gators, and he's a baseball player now, so look how that turned out. What's his name? Johnny Manziel. That didn't turn out. RG3, he's a backup for the Baltimore Ravens. That didn't end up working out. So, yeah. Well, we'll come to that when it comes to that, but yeah, in terms of this game against the Falcons, if Dan Quinn keeps going for a 4th down, especially in the situations where there was no point in going for on 4th down, where we could have scored an extra 3 points, then I would probably just say take the extra 3 points, and let's try and something on my defense, because going for a 4th down means that if we don't get it, Seattle is in the perfect position to score another touchdown. And I just want to say, Russell Wilson and his weapons were really, really good. Tyler Lockett had a touchdown. DK Metcalf had, I think, probably about 2 touchdowns, or was the other way around, with Tyler Lockett getting 2 touchdowns. Greg Olsen, the former Carolina Panther, ended up getting his first touchdown for Seattle. I knew he was going to be decent. I knew he was going to have a good game for Seattle, because Russell Wilson did need a tight end, and he ended up getting one in a very experienced Greg Olsen. And Greg Olsen ended up getting his first touchdown for the Seattle Seahawks. But when it comes to the Falcons and their next game, of course, you guys know, the next game for the Falcons is going to be against the Dallas Cowboys. I really can't wait to see how that game goes out, because I know Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp about to be talking about that on Undisputed. But if I had to say, I'm not really going to give you my preview for the Falcons game, because I'll be doing that this Saturday. But just expect this game to be a very, very good game. I'd probably say they're going to probably beat us on the running game. But when it comes to the passing game, that's going to be a different story. I feel like Matt Ryan's going to have a better day than Dak Prescott. But hey, after the Dallas Cowboys lost to Los Angeles Rams, things are looking good for this weekend. Things are looking really, really good for this weekend. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Please do smash the like button. I will be posting more sports content for you guys to see in the coming days. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notifications so you know my videos going live. We're on the grind to 300 subscribers before the end of this year. Let's see if we can hear you guys. And I know you guys like these Falcons videos because I've been seeing a lot of support on it. So if you guys want more Falcons videos or more NFL content, just make sure you subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.